Hey guys, welcome back to our second demo video. In this video, we're going to work on problem 1-6B, okay? For your homework, you need to do problem 1-6A, and this problem wants you to do an income statement and prepare a balance sheet. Now, I already prepared a balance sheet in the prior video, so I'm not going to do that portion of it. I'm going to do the income statement and demonstrate how you should put together your income statement. So first thing I'm going to do is create my header for our income statement, right? So I'm just going to arbitrarily pick a number of rows. I'm going to go 6, okay? I want to merge and center these. I'm going to take my mouse and put it over the bottom right corner where that little box is. I'm going to click and drag down 3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and type in the name of the company. Now in this case, it's R. Levy. Interior design. I'll just leave that off. We are doing the income statement. And remember, the income statement does not is not like a balance sheet, right? It's not a Polaroid picture. It's not a snapshot of some point in time. It covers an entire period. So the income statement is kind of like a video, right? So what we're going to say then is that the income statement is for year ended December 31st, 2016. Okay. So now what I want to do is, and again, if I haven't mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. I'm kind of picky about spreadsheets, right? I don't know why, but I wanted to make sure they look nice, neat, presentable, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to merge and center four columns here. Okay, so I'm going to click merge and center, and I'm going to click my left align, and I'm going to do the same thing. I want to format all these cells beneath this cell. So to do that, I'm going to put my mouse over that little box on the bottom right till I get my little crosshairs, and I'm going to click and drag. Okay, again, just an arbitrary amount, just trying to make sure I have enough space for my income statement. So first thing I'm going to put are my revenues. So I put the title revenues. Excuse me. I come down to the next cell and I want to click indent because I want all my revenues as I list them to be indented slightly to the right beneath that header of revenues. So if I look at my problem here, 1-6B, they tell me that when it comes to revenues, it looks like I only have one, which, why can't I find it here? Well, this is embarrassing, huh? Bear with me, let me pull up the problem. Oh, wrong one. Decorating fees earned. Duh. Sorry about that. Okay, so decorating fees earned. That's my first revenue. So I'm going to type that in. And I'm going to come over and I'm going to type in my amount, $57,600. Okay. I don't like the way that looks. That's not nice and neat. It's kind of tough to read, right? So I'm going to make sure I format it correctly. I want to put a $sign here. So I'm going to click on my $sign up in the ribbon. Notice what it does. It says, hey, you're doing accounting formatting, which is what we want. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the decimal places. Reason being, we don't need decimal places. Okay. So next, that's the only revenues we have. So the next thing I'm going to list are my expenses. So I need to go through and pull out all of my expenses. So again, I want to indent because I want to make sure all my expenses that I list are indented slightly to the right beneath these or beneath this expense title. Okay, so I'm just going to run right through, and the first one I see here is insurance expense. So I'm going to type that in. And my insurance expense is $1,600. And actually, I want to change something here. I don't like this. In row S, I'm going to go ahead and put my $600 in for revenue. I'm going to format it correctly. And I'm going to delete this one, okay? Reason why is I want to list separately all my expenses, and then I want to subtotal them, and then that way I can subtract out revenues minus expenses, okay? So again, this column, I want to make sure it's proper. I need to put in my comma and get rid of my decimal places. I already have the dollar here, so we know that this is going to be a dollar amount, okay? So let's go pick the next expense we have. And the next expense we have is our supplies expense. Type that in. And our supplies expense is $8,100. The next expense we have is our miscellaneous expense. Again, I want to indent. I'm going to abbreviate here because I'm just being lazy. Miscellaneous expense, but you should spell yours out. Miscellaneous expense is $1,200. And the next expense I have is my advertising expense. So I'm going to list that one. Again, make sure we indent. And my advertising expense is $700. Then we have salaries expense. For an amount of $33,000. Oh, not indented. Okay. And then the final expense we have is our rent expense. And our rent expense is $4,500. Okay. So I'm going to indent rent expenses, and watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put my bottom border under cell reference R12 and S12, okay? And then I want to sum up all of my expenses, and I end up with $49,100, okay? From here, I need to calculate my net income, which is very easy for us to do, equals revenue minus expenses. I have net income of $8,500. So I need to title this row here. So I'm going to indent twice. 1, 2, net income. And there we go. Now, I need to foot this column, so I need to make sure I have my double bottom borders. And that's how you prepare the income statement in proper form. Again, not going to do the balance sheet here. I think it might be a little bit redundant for you. But if you still have questions on how to prepare that balance sheet, please reach out to me. Send me a text, no problem. Be happy to have a conversation with you, or we can do a, what do we have in Moodle? GoToMeeting or Zoom or whatever. But we can do either of those, okay? So thanks for tuning in. After this, you're ready to go ahead and give your homework 1 a shot. And then after you finish that, go ahead and jump into chapter 2. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you later.